If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it and it's free. Looking for PTGO codes? Poton Store has all the latest sets and promos instantly delivered to your email. You can use tablemon code when checking out for 5% off. Card Market is Europe's largest online marketplace for Pokemon cards. Whether you're looking for sealed product or singles, vintage or the latest sets, just follow the link in the description to find what you need. Want to show off your love for tablemon? Check out my 2021 merch. These new hoodies and shirts are available on Amazon. Click on the link in the description to get yours. This video is sponsored by the Pokemon TCG deck building website PokemonCard.io. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video here. So we've covered a couple of Liverpool regional decks, and over the weekend there was also another tournament that happened, which was a Japanese tournament in Aichiban or something, I believe. And Quad Arc, well, not Quad Arceus, I guess, Straight Arceus with Inteleon ended up winning the whole thing. There's two cards that are missing from this list that are from our next set, one of which is the supporter that when you're behind in price cards, or no, if your opponent has 3 or less price cards, you can play it, and then you draw 6. You both shuffle your hands, they draw 2, you draw 6, I believe. And then there's a stadium that I don't quite remember what it did, so I decided to replace those 2 cards with an extra Marnie and a copy of Collapsed Stadium. Now outside of that, we have the straightforward ARCEUS VSTAR Quad Arceus deck that, as you might recall, was the first deck that I featured from Brilliant Stars. Obviously my list wasn't exactly like this one, but it was not too far off, right? Not too far off. And we have the Trinity of Attack doing 200 damage and attaching up to 3 basic entry cards to a V, or to V Pokemon, however we like. And you have the Starbirth ability where we can search our deck for any 2 cards that we want. Obviously this clashes a little bit with Path to Peak, but should be fine as the Path to Peaks are pretty helpful against Mew VMAX. We have a 4-3-2 Inteleon line, which is a little thinner than usual, but we do need to fit Manaphy to protect our bench with Wave Beal, and Dunsparce to have Mysterious Nest to protect our Arceus from weakness from fighting type Pokemon, which, as we've seen from the World Regionals, they are being more present, and Urshifu seems to be making a comeback, especially if you play the online ladder lately. You will see it quite often there. Now we do have double Melanie, double Marnie, and double Boss, along with Sharon Scare, Avery, and Research. So nice variety of supporters, which we are seeing being explored a lot more. We also have Palpat to recycle any of these that we might need for extra use. As I mentioned, we have Path to a Peak and Collapse Stadium, both disrupt your opponent in different ways. We have Tool Scrapper to continue that disruption, and we have double Echoing Horn so that Arceus can actually have some easy targets on the bench, which I very much appreciate. Double Capture Energy with double Turbo Energy that captures out a little bit extra consistency to the deck in the early game or in the late game. By having that as the attachment, you can establish your Sobble, your Dunsparce, your Manaphy, and extra Arceus if you need. And then we have the versatility of extra HP or extra damage with our tools. A single Scoop of Net to help recycle an Inteleon, Ordinary Rod to recover any of these that get KO'd, or to get a 4th Arceus or a 3rd one if we priced one to be utilized. And so yeah, it's like a straightforward beatdown Quad Arceus deck that's very consistent and also very versatile and full of options. So let's jump into the ladder and see what we can do with it. Alrighty, so we are going to start off. We are going second and we are going to mulligan, so neither of those things are ideal, but they're completely out of my control. We are up against an Arceus sleeved up deck and deck box, so we'll see what happens here. Alright, with this hand, it's just, my opponent probably can knock out the Arceus on turn 2, right? And I wouldn't mind using Keep Calling on turn 1. That wouldn't be bad by any means. Alright, we generally might just be up against a straight mirror match or almost straight mirror match, and every card so far is sort of an indication of the mirror match. So Sharon Scare and the Palpat and the careful use of resources will be Very important here. Very, very important. But yeah, going second is definitely disadvantageous in the probable exact mirror match, where our opponent is likely not going to whiff anything at all. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and establish another Sobble. I did not price any ARCEUS pieces. I did price a Drizzle. I priced a Level Ball. And I priced... He really could end up being useful. I priced a Boss. I priced a Double Turbo. And 2 Energy. There's my 6 prices. So I am sort of tempted to not attach this energy, honestly. Losing the Scoop of Net also really sucks. Maybe I could discard the energy and then shuffle it back in, so that I still have a good chance at getting an energy, but I also so like with Boss, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking of just picking up the Sobble anyways and discarding it, because then this Sobble will go down and then my opponent can go KO and then another KO. I whiffed the energy. Wow, I whiffed everything. What? Wow, this hand is actually atrociously bad. I cannot explain how atrociously bad this hand is. To the point where I'm gonna do all of this and I'm gonna play Path to a Peak to try and deny my opponent's ability right here. This is... I whiffed all Level Balls, Drizzles, Melanies, Marnies, V-Star, Ultra Wall. Just whiffed everything. I don't expect the Big Charm to really come into play at any point. Maybe I could Big Charm an Intillion if I ever attack with it, which might be useful at some point. We'll see. And best case scenario, they Marty me here, right? That would actually be best case scenario. Second best is I just top deck a Drizzle or a Level Ball or an Incense or an Ultra Ball. Or a Melanie, I guess. The Stadium might come back to bite me, but it also could maybe make my opponent whiff here, so... And with this hand, I definitely need them to whiff at this point. They have the research though, so they're gonna see 7 brand new cards. And they already have the VMAX. I mean V-Star. So used to saying VMAX all the time. Oh. Huh. They might go for another for a counter stadium to the path. That would be peculiar. Yeah, that's what they do. So they grab research, so why not just go grab the stadium, grab the V-Star, and with the V-Star grab the double and the research. They would have accomplished the same thing, except with no chance of whiffing. If they whiff the V-Star, jeez, I can't speak today. If they whiff the V-Star, then it's completely under less than ideal choices, right? And it seems like they did. It seems like they did whiff. Like, I'm still going to lose this, but and then whiffing is not that impactful, but it was in their control to not whiff, you know? All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and concede. There's no way I recover off of this, so oh well. So what just happened in this previous game is one of the very, like, frustrating things, I guess, that happened in the Pokemon trading card game at the moment. It's very easy to whiff, it's very easy to get dead hands, And it's very easy to notice opponents less than ideal placed and not be able to capitalize on them purely because your hand sucks, purely because you just whiffed that one card that you really needed. So, such as this hand, right? Like, all these cards are good, they're just not good right now. And I have so many other cards that would be good right now, but I don't have them, right? I just happen to not draw them in this particular instant. So, I'm out of luck. So we might just lose another match to wow. To a dead draw. Marnie, please Marnie. Last card Marnie. Yes, let's go. Thank you, Microscope 12. Let's go. Pure chance, right? Absolute pure chance right there. Alright. Don't play Path to a Peak. So they're gonna power up the Sandaconda, so clearly I need Dunsparce this upcoming turn. I don't think there's a way. I don't think there's a way for me to KO the Arceus, right? Ooh, only one energy. That is peculiar. Alright, so with the Drizzle, I'm definitely grabbing Incense for the V-Star. So I could maybe... The Dunsparce there, fortunately. But I'm not threatened by the VMAX yet. So I'm not entirely sure if I want to commit to that just yet. I don't have access to research, so it's either Marnie or Avery for me in terms of draw. I think I will Marnie, and I'm just gonna set up the Dunsparce. So what I can do is I can set up the Dunsparce, and maybe my opponent will just do a little bit of damage with that and try to KO it with spread. However, then the Manaphy comes in, so we'll see. I did prize an ARCEUS VSTAR, I did prize a double turbo, a capture energy, the research, an ARCEUS, and then something else that I'm not sure if I counted the other ARCEUS VSTAR, but it's fine. No rush. So no weakness for me, which is great. Did get the path, which I kind of like. Now I can play it and deny their V-Star ability, possibly. And there's no point in committing the choice build just yet, so I'm not going to, in case I need Big Charm for some reason. But I will definitely power up the benched ARCEUS V-Star. Alright. Alright. No B-Drill, which is good. Boss on the Dunsparce, which is fair. Still not super threatened by the Sandaconda, and I do have, or I should have access to the Ordinary Rod to get the Dunsparce back to protect myself, which I think is what I need to do, right? I'm not seeing the benefit of Choice Belt. It doesn't help me KO this dude. I don't need it to KO the Crobat, and it doesn't help me KO either of these. So I'm thinking of getting rid of these two, grabbing the Inteleon. So the Choice Belt might matter if I do 20 damage on an Arceus and it doesn't evolve. I do have the Ordinary Rod, which is nice. So I go... What? It's just I'm scared of a Raihan play. So this might be my play, honestly. I think this is my play. So getting back the Dunsparce, immediately setting it back down. This is just in case of a right hand play, because they don't even need the VMAX. The VMAX and the Kona to knock out my ARCEUS VSTAR. They could just do it with Land Crush. I could then 1 energy, but nah, I don't want to. Alright, double turbo, not a great price card. Research, a fantastic price card. That is really, really nice to see right there. Really, really nice to see. Alright, quick bolt away a research. And there we go. Yeah, Dunsparce putting in the work. Very nice. Alright, on to the next match. Alright, so we're going second this time around, most likely. And that is good. Oh, actually no, my opponent let me go first. So I believe that's an indication that we are up against Rapid Strike Malamar. I believe, I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's right. Yes, okay. So let's go ahead and establish Sobble. The Avery will actually be pretty impactful against Rapid Strike Malamar. They can't attack my hand at all, ever. At least in normal list, so I'm not too worried about conserving resources, losing the energy, etc. We have the guaranteed V-Star, so we're gonna start applying damage since turn 2. We'll try to make it as difficult as possible for them to take a knockout with the V-Star plus the Big Charm and the Share and Scare. Okay, so my opponent, not sure if smartly or they just didn't have the cards for it, doesn't end up filling up their bench, so we can't punish with the Avery. However, what I can do is get the V-Star and then take a KO with a Marnie. Yeah, I think that's fair. So off of the V-Star ability, I'm gonna grab another Arceus so I can power it up, and a Marnie. We'll bench you, we'll Starbirth. So low hand size for my opponent and low potential for a return KO, and then that's where the Share and Scare might give us that extra turn. We might not need the Big Charm in this particular situation. The Collapse Stadium actually puts in a lot of work against them, so that's really good. We can have that in play basically always, and then we just power up our friend. Yeah, sure, with all 3. And then I'll attach the Capture Energy probably to the Drizzle or a future Intellion. Now the sad thing is that my hand is now dead. Yep, it's confirmed dead. I do have Boss to chase down something, but it's not looking great. Avery, I guess, is now less good because of the Collapse Stadium, but that's alright. Alright. So there's a Cynthium. My opponent needs exactly Malamar plus energy plus 7 Rapid Strike cards. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? A little less so. If they just damage me, then I will go ahead and retreat the Arceus. If they don't bench another Inkay, then that would be fantastic. If they only hit me for 20 with spinning attack, which I think that's what might happen, then I'll keep the Arceus there for now. Maybe not. Maybe that's not what will happen here. Alright, so they do go for the attack. So Oh, melodic, okay. Prevent all effects of the card done to you or your hand. Interesting addition. I like it. That means you become immune to Marty, which I don't think this deck needs protection against Marty. Because you have so many outs, and that is a fantastic top deck. Absolutely insane. Alright. Thank you so much, deck. You are very kind. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab Share and Scare. Yeah. I have the ARCEUS, I'll Share and Scare, and then probably the Big Charm. Yep. To make it, once again, as difficult as possible for my opponent to take a knockout right here. And bench you. We'll go ahead and evolve you. Go ahead and Big Charm you. And then I'm going to attach the capture to the Intillion, as I will want to attack with it eventually. And I'll just go ahead and Trinity Nova, take the knockouts, and power up the other ARCEUS. So far so good. We will see what happens here in this upcoming turn. Echoing Horn, not very useful. So Share and Scare definitely had priority there. I can use the boss this upcoming turn to target down whatever I deem most important. Whatever I deem will give me the best chances at knocking out my opponent. Alright. So there's the Malamar. There's the energy. So Scoop Up Net would allow them to get the amount of cards necessary to one-shot me. I can't use Sharon again. That's probably Shady Dealings, yep. Okay, so they might actually just get the KO here. You currently have 5. This could get up to 3. Oh, it just gets Brawly and Karina's Focus. Okay, so you have 7. Scoop Up Net. Onto the Intellion, okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Could still be 7. And then they grab another one off of this Drizzle to make it 8. And they keep the Intellion. If that's what they do though, then I will most certainly go boss KO the Drizzle. They have 9 cards in their hand, and we know one of them is Intillion, so they need the other 8. Oh, they hadn't used Octillery. Okay, never mind. Okay, so they might actually be able to pull this off. Okay, they definitely can pull this off. I mean, fair game, right? Fair game. They do put the run rate back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. So we know they have, at the very least, the Intillion in their hand. So I think this turn I go after the Drizzle. I think that gives me the best chance at winning here. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I mean, okay, so Echoing Horn on the Inkay could actually be a good idea. Because then that avoids a double Sobble bench. I'm gonna go for it. It feels weird, but it's also not weird, I think. Alright. Oh, it's only 1 Pokemon. I thought it was 2. I'm thinking of this CDY. Okay, well, now my issue is that I'm dead drawing. So finding another ARCEUS will actually not be easy to establish, set up, to try and play a 7 price card game. My opponent could also be playing Boss or Escape Rope. That's for sure. there we go. Yeah, no response at this point. Taking another knockout could have been for, yeah, I mean, it works out, right? It absolutely works out. So we compensated our dead draw thanks to that one boss we were able to. Pairing up the Inteleon pretty good to try to force your opponent to play to 7 prize cards and possibly more. If you can share and scare and basically nullify turns for your opponent. So against Arceus, if you're not taking a one-shot, sometimes it might even be better to just conserve your resources. So that first turn where my opponent didn't one-shot their Arceus VSTAR, that's where they fell a little behind. It's basically a dot turn where you then get rid of your hand and use up a Cynthia, which might have been useful later. But anyways, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Really powerful deck, obviously, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.